Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Carole Issa from Leadership Activators, to present to us on how to nail your pitch beyond what you say. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Carole Issa.
And this says a lot about who you are and how committed you are to the success of your business and to the success of our businesses too, because without you, those beautiful connections wouldn't happen. So I was thinking about what would be the best way to invest together those 10 minutes, which is a bit of a challenge. If I were to share with you how I can help with elevating pitch, speaking skills, and communication skills, maybe it would take 7 to 8 days if I were to keep speaking. So a bit of a challenge there to condense everything in 10 minutes. So I thought that perhaps it could be a good idea. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, to give you 5 tips that I find have been very useful to most of my clients. Would that be okay with you if you were to do that? Yeah? Okay, awesome. And like I said before, would love for you to just unmute yourself, jump in, share also what you think has worked for you in the past. So the very first tip that I wanted to share with you has to do with the body language. And as many of you know already, there's a lot that is being said with the way we stand, with the way we present ourselves before we even speak. So the very first thing that I would love for you to be mindful of, unless you are already, which is great, is how is it that you position your feet. So I'm just going to do a quick contrast here. There are a lot of people who I come across. I'm going to just exaggerate a little bit here so that you can see what I'm talking about this way. So I'm going to say the exact same sentence and changing my feet position, and let me know how it comes across. All right, cool. Okay, awesome. So hi everyone, I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. All right. This is 2 now. Hi everyone, I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. 3. Hi everyone, I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. I haven't changed anything with what I said or any other parts of my body. I'm just changing my feet. So who here would like to jump in and share which one they felt was the best one that they loved the most and why? 3. Okay. So we have a 3 from Maria. 3. Oh, there's a chat box. Okay, hang on, guys. 3. Okay, 1, 3. Okay, awesome. So Maria, are you okay for me to ask you, how is it that you decided that 3 was the best? How did it come across? Would love to hear your thoughts on this.
You came across as more grounded and connected to yourself, therefore connected to us.
Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful. Who else would like to share what they felt with 3? Why did they choose 3?
I'm happy to do that. It looked more natural. It looked like, I mean, not the legs spread wide. You wouldn't do that. Holding your feet together. You're not at attention at an army, parade. So just slightly apart, just looked natural.
Yeah, shoulder width apart. Awesome. There's someone who chose 1 though. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm just gonna have a look. Angela. Yes, Angela, you're here.
Yes,
yeah.
So I think I made a mistake. I think
okay.
It was supposed to be 3.
Okay, cool. All right.
I liked the 3rd one the best. I thought I agree with Steve.
Okay, awesome. So by and large, usually you will find that this is the one that comes across as the best connected, the best grounded. It doesn't mean that other people don't perceive it differently, but usually that would be your best bet if you are unsure on how to stand. So shoulder width apart, this is the first tick box. Cool. So second one, what do I do with my hands? That's another question that I get a lot. So some people just do that. Hi everyone, I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. Some other people do that. Hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. And some people start to do more sophisticated stuff like, hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. Or, hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. So I'm going to quickly do again the 4 and let me know what your thoughts are. Cool? Yeah? Yeah, I'm seeing on your tiny screen. So it's either a nod or that, so I can know that you're with me. Okay, awesome. Beautiful. So here we go again. Number 1, in the pocket. Hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. Number 2. Hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. 3. Hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. 4. Hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. Which one do you choose? Let's have a look. Looking at the chat box. 3. 3. 3. 5 by your side. Steve, awesome. Yes, the neutral position. I'll talk about it in a second. All right. So most of you have chosen 3, actually, all of you. 3, but it was relaxed. But I loved 1. I think this is what you're saying, Maria. And it was relaxed. Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's talk about 3, which had the highest vote. This one. How did it come across? Who would like to share?
I'll share.
Go for it. Beautiful.
It came
Thanks.
across quite like it was sort of obviously strategic, but it still had some nice quality, but it was like this openness. It's like you're open.
Yeah, open. That's a great point. Who else would like to share? How did it feel? How did it come across? Anything that you'd like to add? Anyone? Looks like everyone agrees mostly, maybe. So what this is, spot on, Maria. So what this is actually when we think about how we're originally wired, apparently in the animal kingdom, this is a yes. It's open palms. It's like I'm inviting you to connect with me, which is most probably why it is that it came across as being more open. So it's very important for you to match what you're doing with your hand with what you are saying. So if I were to try to make a point, for example, I wouldn't do that. I would use different ways. So let's say if I'm trying to level with you, which is called the leveler's position, hands position. Let's say I work with business owners. This is something that I'm saying that is a fact, right? So I'm leveling with you. I'm making sure that you get it. Another one that is a bit more on the, what we call it, the blamer, that is more when I'm trying to say something and that's it, and there is no argument about it. This is called the blamer, which I haven't demonstrated yet. So this is when I'm really trying to make a point and I'm in a way imposing it on you so that you get it and there are no questions about it. So it's very important to match what you're saying with your hands as well. Something that Steve has mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you picked it up on the chat, was the neutral stance. Is that right, Steve? Is this what you were talking about here? Is Steve there? Yeah. Yes, Steve. Correct. Yeah, awesome. So what Steve was sharing in the chat, which is more of the neutral stance, it goes like this. So shoulder width apart with the feet, and then your arms are alongside your body. It's also relaxed. It's not like a surgeon or anything like that. This is when you really have no idea what you want to do. It's like when you're driving a car and it's too much information, and most probably you're focused on the content to make sure that you get it right, which is where most of us start, so that you don't get the participants to be looking at the different things that you're doing with your hands and your body and be distracted, and you want them to focus on the content. You go with neutral, which is exactly what I'm demonstrating right now. Yeah, so this would be the safest way to go if you're still trying to practice and not knowing what you're doing with your hands. So feet done, tick, hands done. We've demonstrated a few. Now, the eyes. Now on Zoom, it's a bit tricky. Still, you can do it. If I were to be closer to you, I can still do it. But when you are usually in a room, if you're doing an xCite presentation or a pitch, what you could do is to start to take it up a notch when you start to be more comfortable with your hands, your feet, with what you're delivering, is to take the time to connect 3 seconds, 3 to 4 or 5 seconds with different people in the room. So as you speak, as you deliver, I'm going to do a little demonstration now. You start to connect 3 seconds with different people in the room. Now, of course, sometimes you'll have people taking some notes and you'll have the top of their head. You just move to the next person that is actually looking at you. And this starts to build this level of rapport with people in the room. Because ultimately, if you were to think about the intention of who's presenting, it's to build a strong connection and ultimately trust. Yeah. And this is one way to start creating this bridge between you and the audience who is listening to what you're saying. So I'm just going to do that because you need to see my eyes. So I'm going to start to connect with you as I speak. So hi, everyone. I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. And I do what I do because I keep coming across amazing business owners who are great at what they do. But for some reason, they don't have access to the right tools to lead effectively. So you can see how my eyes were moving. I'm not sure if you felt, some of you, that I was connecting with you. Who felt that I was connecting with them? Yeah, some of you did. Yeah, Rebecca, I did connect with you. Maria, I did. Elle and Angela. Yeah. Sorry, Angela, I think I called you by mistake Maria earlier. I think so. Sorry about that. So, so these are the 3 first key tips. Any questions so far before we keep going? No? Awesome. All right. Number 4, we're going to start.
Carole, I do have a question, and it relates to the Zoom, because you're connecting with people and you're looking to those people on your screen, but the camera is where you're looking.
Yes.
So it's really hard to then connect with somebody because I'm looking down here, which is where you are on my screen, but my camera's there. So how do you resolve that one particular
Great question. So if I'm talking to the one person, which I'm going to do right now, I'm actually talking to you. I'm talking really to the camera. Okay. But if I'm talking to a room, which is you guys, what I'm doing, I'm actually looking at different people on my screen. And some of you will feel that I'm actually looking at you. Does it make sense? This is why I asked earlier, who saw that I was looking at them? Now, I might be, let's say right now I'm looking at you, but you don't see that I'm looking at you, but right now I am. That's not the point. The important part is that people will see that my eyes are moving and they go like, oh, she's looking at me. Oh no, she's not looking at me. Even if I'm not looking at them specifically, they can see that I have the intention to connect with them. Now I'm moving and you can see like how some of you are like, oh, is she looking at me? Which is normal because I am actually trying to connect with you. Can you see that? See? Yeah?
No, that's a great
explanation.
Thank you.
Great. Awesome. All right. Cool. So let's keep going. So there are 2 more. How long do I still have? Who's keeping track of time? Another 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes?
Yeah. That's what I've got.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So number 4 is fillers. Who here is familiar with fillers? What it means? Yeah. What is it, Clay? Can you share?
Isn't fillers when people are saying things like and
exactly
all those
spot
kinds
on
of things?
Yes, exactly, spot on, nailed it. So I still do it myself. One of my key fillers that you might have noticed is so, because the way my brain works is in equations. I'm an analytical person at the back. I used to be a sound engineer, and I know for a fact that one of my gaps and stretches in communication is if I don't pay attention, I start to do so I start to do a lot of so when I'm speaking. So you want to have a look? You heard that? I just did it. You want to have a look at what the fillers are for you. It's different for every person, and start to get rid of them. It's okay if you say them here and there. It's perfectly fine. We're human at the end, and actually it makes you more human, less robotic, of like really making it pristine and crystal clear. This is not what we're looking at. We still want to be human. The idea is having a look at the ones that will distract the audience from what you are sharing and start getting rid of them. So what could we replace those fillers with? What do you think?
Balance.
What does it say?
I've been told that you can fill them with silence.
Silence. Exactly. That's the easiest one. Just silence. The power of the pause. So leveraging the pause until you figure out what you're about to say next. Because usually fillers is you're trying to link to the next thought. So you want to fill the gap. Just like when you start to do things with your body because you're not sure what to do, or you can't really think about standing still, you start doing random stuff with your body. Same thing when you speak, when you're not sure about what's the next idea that you want to go to, we have the tendency, all of us, to fill the gaps with fillers. So practicing silence instead of filling the gap is awesome. Number 5, tonality. So there are 2 key tonalities that I usually work a lot on with my clients. The very first one is called the command tonality, which I'm using right now. And what it does, it's actually going down. Hi, I'm Carole Issa from Leadership Activators. Yeah, so it's going down. The other one in contrast with that is called the question tonality or the upward tonality. So hi, I'm Carole Issa. I'm going to overdo it now. From Leadership Activators. And a lot of people I come across do it without even knowing that they're doing it, unintentionally. And unfortunately, it gives the sense of uncertainty. Like, I'm not sure, am I Carole Issa or not? So it's very important to convey certainty when you are communicating with the audience, because at the end, you are sharing with them knowledge, expertise. Otherwise, it becomes distracting and they're like, are you sure about what you're sharing? Is this something that I should take on board or not? So it becomes more like question marks all the time. Absolutely use it when you are actually asking, like, would anyone like to share? I'm using it because it's relevant. I'm asking a question. Be mindful on when you're using it and it's not supposed to be there. Yeah? Awesome. Great. So those are the 5 tips that I wanted to share with you. Would love to hear your questions, thoughts, insight. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Some tips maybe that you have that you'd like to share with us? Would love to hear. I would like to jump in.
We're all frightened. We're all frightened to ask a question.
Yeah, we're frightened to ask a question. Maybe if I can get closer, that will make it less frightening. All right.
I have a question. Yeah. It relates to, well, I just did it then. You know, I was thinking of a question and I went up with my eyes.
Great.
So that's more, yeah, I guess, facial expression, reading people's faces. So it's almost in reverse of looking, you know, to see what people, whether they're actually telling the truth or where their thinkings are. I don't know whether you have any thoughts on that. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is a different skill set. Yeah. This is a different skill set, Steve. And there are some people who are expert at that. Personally, I don't use it because sometimes it, to me, from where I come from, it does a bit of a disservice to the conversation because sometimes it's misinterpreted. And sometimes you think that the person, let's say, is not telling the truth when in fact they are. It's a different thing that is going on. So I have the tendency not to marry those ideas, more to date them, use them to get a sense, but not be married to them. So yes, by all means, it's great to expand our knowledge around that. This is my point of view, and get a sense of how we will or might interpret some of, let's say, the eyes movement or the facial expression or even the features on the face. Apparently, it says something about people, their decision making and all of that, but I don't marry it. I just date it. I consider it, and then I use whatever is happening in the room and the dynamic to assess whether it was, yes, an assumption that is correct or not. I test drive it.